Hey everyone, Jeremy Whittington here at Dreamforce 2014. I'm here with Garrett Jones, the VP of Sales for Spanning. Garrett, what can you tell me about your product?
So Spanning is a cloud-to-cloud service that automates a daily backup of critical data inside of SaaS applications, and it also gives the ability for administrators and end users to easily restore that data back into a production environment.
How many backups can you do, on a per basis? Like, what is there any kind of automated, once a week? I think that's what Salesforce has. How does that work with Spanning?
Yeah, so with Spanning, when you start the service, your data, your environment will be backed up. After that, every day there will be incremental backups for any data that's changed or been added, and at any time you can go ahead and kick off a manual backup so that if you were about to merge two Salesforce instances, it'd be a great idea to go ahead and do a manual backup on both before you perform that activity. Yeah. Otherwise, though, it's daily automated. You bring up the export, that's weekly, and you're pulling down data from Salesforce in sort of 2 gig chunks, and storing that and managing that. We have a lot of administrators who, if they do the export process and then they see what we do, they're very excited about the time they're going to save in terms of how they can run these backups, and the ability to restore is dramatically easier than restoring from an export.
So I definitely see that. Like when we're out at a client, we're doing a deployment for them in an existing environment. We really want to make sure that we're not going to lose anything when we go to do our deployment. So definitely see the value in that. So when it comes to restoring, how hard is it to restore, and how far back does the data actually go?
So it's very easy to restore. You would go into Salesforce, and just like you can search today for any object, a lead, an account, an opportunity, you would search for that, find it on the Spanning tab, and then at that point, you can select whatever date you want to go back to. So from day one that you started your backups, you can go back that far. We will keep that data forever unless you tell us we only want to keep the past 2 years or something like that. Otherwise, you can go back to any point in time in the history since you started your Spanning backups. When you find that record that you want to either restore, or maybe it's a specific field, you can see at the field level. And as you select different dates, you can see how that field has changed over time. When you find the one that you want, or if you know the date that you want, you just select that, hit restore, and it's back into your production environment. Okay. And all of that gets logged on Chatter feed as well, so you can see who did it, when they did it, what it changed from and to, that type of thing.
So when we're going to do the backups, what exactly is covered? Is it just the data, or what do you guys have that's getting backed up?
Yeah, so it would back up all of the data in any sort of object. It also backs up metadata, Apex code, any custom reports that you've built, other development that you've done on the Salesforce platform.
Okay. So for example, like if we had gone in and configured a bunch of reports and custom views and things like that, all that stuff's getting backed up with Spanning, right?
It is, as well as the metadata of who has access to those reports and so on, so that when you put it back into production environment, it's as if it was never lost, or it goes back exactly in how it was initially backed up.
So I understand that you're the only in-app backup solution for Salesforce. What exactly does that mean?
Yeah, that's right. So what it means is I guess 2 things. One, in Salesforce itself, you have your tabs. There's a tab called Spanning Backup, so you can very easily go there and start the restore process. What it also means is, being in-app, we can mirror the security and the access settings that an administrator sets up for his or her Salesforce environment. So you as an individual would have access to restore records, the same records that you have the ability to edit. If you are a backup product sitting outside the app, you either have kind of some security gaps in terms of people having access to records they shouldn't, or you're extremely limited in regards to what you can allow from an end-user restore capability.
What advice can you give IT administrators, when they're going to talk this up at their company?
Sure. So when people move to the cloud, they expect the cloud vendor to protect them, and the cloud vendor does provide protection in regards to availability, making sure the data is available, uptime, and so on. What they don't protect against is user error, human error. There are different sync errors and things that can also happen that can corrupt data. And really, backup should follow the app. And in this case, as you move your app to the cloud, you also need to move your backup to the cloud.
What does our audience need to do to be able to get this and get their hands on it?
Sure, so we'd love to talk to you. Our website, spanning.com. We have videos of the product, of course, information. We also have a trial process to where anyone can download the trial, go ahead and test your environment for a couple of weeks, run the restore, see what that's like. But as you do that, we'd love to speak with you.
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
I appreciate it.